Alright guys, today we have some pretty significant PlayStation news to talk about because a new report has come out of VGC where they have multiple sources claiming that next month in May is when Sony is going to have their big PS5 reveal event, and this is very exciting for obvious reasons. Many of us have been waiting very patiently for this moment to come where we've gotten some pretty great information, I'd say, so far about PlayStation 5. We've gotten the DualSense controller, which is awesome. We've gotten the full specifications. We've heard about some features. We've seen that Spider-Man tech demo that we actually weren't supposed to see, but we did anyway. And so what we've really been waiting for, in my opinion, is what I would consider the meat and potatoes of the next generation reveals, that being the console itself, what the console is going to look like running in real time, the operating system, all of the features working in real time, and most importantly the games. What games are going to be there at launch, what games are going to be teased for the future, and what are they going to look like and play like on this next generation console. This is what we've been waiting for, and as I said, based off of VGC's new report, they're claiming that we are going to see this stuff in May. So we're going to go over this. Before we do me a favor, leave the video a like to help it out, or if you're just excited to hear this news, and make sure you hit the subscribe button as well so you don't miss any future content. But let's actually go over the report here. E3's cancellation will see some next generation console reveals take place much sooner than expected, according to one games industry analyst. Nico Partners' Daniel Ahmad claimed on Sunday that the removal of E3 from this year's industry calendar has led to platform holders moving many planned announcements outside of the show's June 9th through 11th dates. Some are now much earlier, others much later, he said. The first proper next-gen console/games showcase is much earlier too. One person with knowledge of Sony's plans told VGC that the company was recently planning to hold its significant PlayStation 5 reveal event in May. So there you go. We have Daniel Ahmad, who is a pretty well-known industry insider, saying that we can expect the first proper next-generation console and games showcase much earlier than we would expect. Now, he didn't clarify whether or not he was referring to both Sony and Microsoft, or if he was just referring to one. One thing he did emphasize is that because of the nature of what's going on in the world right now, plans could change at literally the last second, and so maybe this is why neither Sony or Microsoft, if this is their plan, have actually mentioned anything about it yet, because they could, the plans could change. Although, to me, that doesn't really make sense. Like, if Sony, the article from VGC here goes on to say that because Sony delayed The Last of Us Part 2 indefinitely, maybe that's an indicator that they had to push their plans back further. But to me, I actually don't know if that really makes much sense. I say this because one of the things I was always afraid of is we have games like, Final Fantasy VII Remake, which just came out, and then we have The Last of Us Part 2 that was supposed to come out May 29th, and then not too long after that, we have Ghost of Tsushima. That's 3 massive AAA PS4 exclusives. Within that window of time, I have to imagine that Sony was planning or is planning to talk about the PS5 in a very significant way. The last thing I think anybody wants to see is Sony stepping on their own toes, where, if they were always planning to have the PS5 reveal event in early May, maybe they weren't, maybe they did move it up, but if that was their plan, that could very well get in the way of The Last of Us Part 2, or maybe even the other way around. Let's say Sony was originally planning to have their event around the same time as E3, and maybe now they are planning to move it up because of this, because of E3 being canceled officially, and maybe this is one of the reasons, believe it or not, they decided to actually delay The Last of Us Part 2 to kind of get it away from the big PS5 reveal event. I could be completely wrong. That's just pure speculation on my part, but nonetheless, we do have sources telling VGC, at least a source that is familiar with Sony's plans, telling them that Sony is planning to have the big PS5 reveal event in May, and we know that Microsoft is apparently planning to do the same thing as well. This article from VGC does also say that the rumors that have been kind of circulating around claiming that Microsoft is planning on having their big proper console reveal event in May. This is also what VGC has heard from their sources, and so we could end up seeing a situation where both Sony and Microsoft come out swinging with the big proper next-gen reveals, game reveals, as well as showing off the consoles in a bigger way. Obviously, we've talked about Microsoft possibly revealing the Xbox Series S model, which I think is likely to happen, but I think the thing we're all just so excited about is finally seeing like that big games blowout that we've really just been eager for, right? Like we've been waiting for quite some time to know what is the launch lineup of the PS5 going to look like? What are these games going to look like on the PlayStation 5? And it's extremely exciting. I'm obviously going to be tuning in to both the next-gen Sony reveal as well as the Microsoft reveal, but I had to take some time to go over this report because, again, it's multiple sources. We have Daniel Ahmad and VGC both basically saying that next-gen reveals, console reveals, and game reveals and showcases are happening in May. They didn't necessarily, Daniel Ahmad anyway, didn't go into detail, but we do have VGC going into detail claiming that, yeah, PS5 reveal is set for May, but it could change. So at this point, I'm going to leave it to you guys. Let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. Do you believe this report? And if so, what day in May are you expecting this to happen? And how excited are you if this actually is true? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Leave the video a like if you did enjoy it or found it informative. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already. Hit the bell notification icon so you never miss an upload, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.